Hey everyone, Terry Vanover here. I wanted to talk today about letting go after divorce. Like, how do you let go after a terrible breakup and you're struggling to let go of what you thought was? Well, I talk a lot about acceptance and consciously surrendering. So if you haven't checked out some of those videos about accepting and consciously surrendering to what is, that's a big part of this process. And remember, it is a process, right? So it's important that we stop shooting all over ourselves, right? And wanting things to be different. I think so many of us get caught up in if only this would change or this would happen, then I'd be happy. But you have to learn how to accept what is and stop resisting, because resisting what is actually prolongs the healing and you're amplifying your stress. So the sooner you consciously surrender and accept your situation, the sooner you'll be able to heal, or even consciously accept the person, right? I think a lot of times, if when I work with my clients who have high conflict exes, for example, "Hey, why can't they just be nice? Why can't they just cooperate? Why can't?" Well, the longer you wish them to be different, the higher your resistance, which increases your stress, because stress is anger in disguise. And stress is really just anger that is unmet expectations. So the sooner you adjust your expectations and accept what is, the more your anger will lessen, the more your stress will lessen. And remind yourself that the pain will lessen over time. You will heal and find joy again. And it's okay. And it's okay to feel what you feel. You will grieve, you will have sadness, you will have anger. It's okay. And it's okay to accept those feelings and feel those feelings. In fact, I did a video on that too, where you surrender to the pain and you feel those feelings rather going into the ego and why can't they love me? Why can't they come back to me? Why wasn't I good enough? Like all those things. So again, it's just accepting what is rather than resisting. And so a couple of things, right, to help you get through this. So remember that this is a process. Now, by process, I'm not a big believer in time heals all wounds. That's not what I'm saying. Remember that this didn't occur overnight. You making a new life with your partner didn't occur overnight. Your thinking changed over a period of time together. You went from me and thinking about yourself to us and we and thinking about what are we having for dinner and how is my spouse's mom doing and when will my spouse be home from work. So your thinking shifted from only about you to the life that you're living together. So understand that letting go um, means understanding that you had a life together and that your thinking revolved around that, and it's you need to now shift your mindset. So the example I use is like a puzzle. So when you and your partner created your new relationship and your new family and your new life together, it's like putting a puzzle, right? Meeting each other's needs and doing things together, and it was like putting a puzzle. And when the puzzle was finished, you had a vision of what you thought your future was going to be. And what makes divorce so significantly hard to overcome is that vision is now ripped away from you. And what you need to do is to create a new vision. So if you haven't done that part in our journal where you create a vision for your life a year out, 3 years out, 5 years out from now, this might be a good time to think about creating a vision for yourself, because this is what you're going to do in order to let go of that other person. You've got to shift your mindset thinking and think of like every time you put your radical self-care first, you're putting a new puzzle piece into this new picture of your life that you're creating for yourself. You spent years making space for someone else in your life, and you went from being single to thinking someone else, and now you've got to go back. You've got to shift your thinking back to thinking of yourself again and this new life you're building for yourself, this new chapter for yourself. So the radical self-care, I call it radical because when you're in overwhelming times, this is the time for radical self-care. The self-care that you're going to be practicing are the pieces of the puzzle that you're going to be putting into place of your new vision of your life. So this is why I want you to really think about self-care, because I think it's an overutilized word right now. Ugh, and I hate it, right? Because everyone thinks like it's a bubble bath, and I do not like bubble baths. You will not catch me in a bubble bath. Self-care for me, and the way I define self-care, is whatever nurtures your soul, whatever brings joy to that deep little inner child within you, whatever that is, do it, right? Whatever nurtures your soul. So interesting enough, when all the remote learning went down and I was like overwhelmed and crazy, and what do you think I did? Right? I didn't heap on more work for myself, or you know what I did? I read a book. And again, that nurtured that little girl that loves to read. Y'all, I'll be honest, I've not read a hard book in years that wasn't related to running a business or healing or helping someone or anything like that. So just to read a book for pleasure was really nurturing that little girl in me. And self-care for me, it looks like doing extra meditations and mindfulness. So meditation doesn't have to be this big woo-woo thing, right? It can be 3 minutes and just doing some focused breath work where you just think about the air flowing in and out of your nostrils, or putting your hand on your chest, focusing on your breath going in and out. Okay. And I up that, right? I did it, several meditations in the morning, and then throughout the day, I just taken a couple short breaks just to kind of, because my anxiety was high and I just needed to bring that down. So it doesn't have to be this whole complicated woo woo thing. Just taking a few breaths and let go of whatever's going on in here, and not allowing yourself to go down the rabbit hole of worry and negativity, right? Self-care can look like taking the dog out for a walk. Self-care can look like listening to your favorite music. Again, those things that bring your soul joy. I have a friend who, she loves what's that Burning Man music. It's like a special music that she loves, and so it just brings her so much joy. It can look like, for me, I'm the only person that goes on vacation is like excited to like do extra exercise. Self-care for me is exercise and workouts and running, taking long walks in nature parks and anywhere where there's a lot of animals and trees. There's this bird sanctuary I love to walk in or run in. So, what is it that brings your soul joy? And do that. It can be listening to a podcast. It can be making the time for things that you need and that would make you feel good about yourself. So, do a lot of that right now as you're planning your new puzzle, right? As you're creating your new puzzle, but also giving yourself lots and lots of self-compassion during this time. Because when you're going through a difficult time, it's okay that, that whatever it is that, you wanted to get done, that project didn't get done. Okay, it's all right. Give yourself compassion and grace. Give yourself some extra rest. Give yourself some compassion to know that you're human, and that you're going to make mistakes. And it's okay if you're not perfect. Like, oh, I didn't cook dinner for my kids when I was like, oh, okay, it's not a big deal. They'll live. It's all right. Lots of self-compassion for yourself, lots of self-care. That's going to help put the puzzle back together. All right. I hope this was helpful. If you need anything, please reach out to me. All right. Talk to you later.